Gary Oak is Ash's first and most iconic rival in the entire Pokemon series, and is also known for being one of Ash's biggest haters. And today, I wanted to see if Gary Oak could beat Pokemon Brick Bronze and become the Roria champion. To find out, I'll be playing Pokemon Brick Bronze as Gary Oak, and that means that I can only use the Pokemon that Gary Oak owns. Now, the team I was gonna choose at first was Blastoise, Arcanine, Umbreon, Electivire, and Tyranitar, along with Nidoking. But then, I decided to change Nidoking for Skarmory, just because of the flying type that Skarmory had, and also his steel typing, which was gonna be pretty useful in this challenge. With that being said, let's see if I can beat every single trainer, gym leader, the Elite Four, and the champion only while using Gary Oak's team. Watch till the end and comment down below what other trainer you want to see beat Pokemon Brick Bronze. Now, I think it was pretty obvious as to which starter I was going to choose for this challenge, and it was obviously Gary Oak's Squirtle. Now, our first fight was against our best friend and our rival, Jake. So for this fight, I just kept using the same move, Water Gun, over and over again, and I thought that, this was the only tactic that I could actually use in this fight. So I just kept using the same move, Water Gun, and boom. Now for the fight against this girl, Sora Brick, I had one and only plan in mind, and that was to use Water Gun over and over again on her two Pokemon. I killed her Poochyena, then Pancham, it was pretty easy. He didn't have any moves that could hurt my Squirtle that much, so I just kept using Water Gun, and it worked, I guess. Now against the first gym, I could only do one thing, and that was use my water moves with Squirtle, Water Gun, and Bubble. That was the only thing I could do, I didn't have any Pokemon that were effective against his electric types, and I only had an Eevee, which was kind of weak, so he paralyzed me. I kept using Water Gun, and I got him pretty low, but he killed me within, I think, Charge Beam. Yeah, it's Charge Beam, and I'm dead. I sent out my Eevee, and I used a few tackles, and I got him, Now, you already know how this goes. Team Eclipse is up to some weird stuff in the volcano. We go ahead and stop them pretty easily, and now we are finally able to battle the second gym. You already know this is one of my favorite gym battles in the entire game. Now, right off the bat, I was already pretty confident in myself and in my Wartortle. Basically, same water moves over and over again on his Pokemon, and it worked pretty well, so I kept using Bubble, half damage, he used the Overheat. Overheat kinda deals a decent amount of damage. And then for his last Pokemon, he sent out a Magmar. I healed my Wartortle, it was almost dead, and my Eevee is fucking useless, bro. It is useless, so I kept using Bubble on him. I was hoping that I could take him down. As you can see, my Wartortle was basically on his own all of this fight. One last Bubble, and boom, second gym. Now against the third gym, your boy got cooked. I got fried, bro. This is probably the hardest fight in this entire challenge. I know that's fucking weird to say, but it's the truth. I beat his first Wilmer pretty easily. He sent out Gorbis, and I knew I was genuinely, I couldn't do anything, My Umbreon was literally useless, and my Blastoise, it's a water type, it's not that effective, you know what I'm saying? So I kept using Charm, hoping that it would, lower Gorbis' damage. It didn't do anything, okay? Psychic did a heck ton of damage against my Blastoise. I needed to heal, every 10 seconds, and I'm gonna speed this up, very fast. This took so much time, it's crazy, I just kept using the same moves, and I kept healing, and I was burned. It was very messy, and I fortunately beat him after 3 or 4 tries. That's genuinely embarrassing. Now the next fight after this was the Tess and Jake fight, but trust me, it took so many tries. I'm not even gonna show this. Then I caught myself a Growlithe on the next route. Then I found a shiny Roggenrola while looking for a Larvitar, right? So I found this before finding a Larvitar. Can you believe this, bro? How does it take more than 30 minutes to find a Larvitar, and he has the audacity to take more than 10 Pokeballs to catch? Now for the fourth gym against Stefan, I sent out my Pupitar. I sacrificed him to take the Intimidate from the Staraptor. I sent out my Blastoise, it took a close combat, not even that much damage. Aqua Tail managed to one-shot the Staraptor. That was nice. Now for his second Pokemon, I think he sent out a Skarmory. Yeah. So basically I used Flamethrower, it did half damage. Yeah, basically it did half damage. Then he sent out Spikes, I used Overheat and I got rid of him. Then for his third Pokemon, I sent out Blastoise for his Aerodactyl. I used Aqua Tail, and I one-shot him. That was pretty lucky. Then Staraptor again. So I used Pupitar again to sacrifice him again for an Intimidate. I sent out my Blastoise, and I hurt him. Yeah, I think I one-shot him, or I did a decent amount of damage. Yeah, almost one-shot him. Basically used Fly. I took the opportunity to heal my Pokemon, and it didn't even do that much. And Aqua Tail managed to take care of the Staraptor. Then, for his last Pokemon, I think, is a Braviary. Basically, it didn't even scare me. I used Aqua Tail, half damage, and then Aqua Tail again, and boom! That was the 4th gym. Right after that, I managed to clap Professor Sniper's cheeks, and then I went ahead and battled this dude who wanted to blow in the entire city, so we basically stopped him. And tell me why his Pokemon just explode. I mean, I'm not against it or anything, but this particular fight was one of the goofiest fights in the entire game. Just to make you guys understand that this is the goofiest fight in the game, Dialga and Palkia themselves, like, opened a portal for us to go back in time. Like, when does that make sense? Now, for the 5th gym battle, low-key, this is one of my favorite gyms, I'm not gonna lie. Aside from the fact that we need to dig, which can be very annoying sometimes, this gym and the leader's Pokemon are very good, you know. So we sent out Steelix, and I did a heck ton of damage with Hydro Pump, but he has 30. Then I used Aqua Tail, and I took care of him. Then, his next Pokemon was a Claydol. I knew she was kind of weak against water, so I used Hydro Pump again, and another Aqua Tail took care of her. Then his next Pokemon, I think is an Excadrill. Same thing, almost all his Pokemon are weak to water, so that was an advantage for my Blastoise. Anyways, he sent out his Mega Garchomp, I healed my Blastoise, and I kept using Aqua Tail, or I don't know, Hydro Pump, I forgot what I was using. And I managed to take him down, but he killed my Blastoise, so yeah. What move did he use? Yeah, Fire Fang took me out, then I sent my Pupitar just for the trolls. He didn't do that much damage, Thrash took him down, and that was the 5th gym. Now for the 6th gym. Listen, I said this last video, if you watched it. If you didn't, go watch it right now. And I'm gonna say it again, cause I mean business, you know what I mean? This gym is the worst, you know, I'm just gonna say that. This gym is the worst just because of the fucking puzzle. You know, if you don't agree, say whatever you want, this is my opinion. Anyways. I knew that my Arcanine was gonna have like strength against his Pokemon, so basically that was Skarmory. I used, I think I used Fly. Fly almost one-shot Tropius, I think. Yeah, almost one-shot him. I think I used another Fly. That was the only option I got. Then for his next Pokemon, he sent out Breloom. I used Fly again, I think. Yeah, Fly again. Pretty useful against these types of Pokemon. Then for his next one is a Roserade. I think I'll also use Fly. Yeah, basically it was just a spamming Fly over and over again. I left him 1 HP. I used Steel Wing just to take care of it. Then his next Pokemon was a Tangrowth. Tangrowth is a weird looking Pokemon. Like, why does it look like that, bro? I don't know. Anyways, I used Overheat against him and I one-shot him. Pretty easy. Then his last Pokemon, I think it was a Venusaur, a Mega Venusaur. I used Heat Wave, hoping to take it down in one shot. Let's see how it did. Yeah, basically it killed me, so I used my Skarmory. I think I used Fly. It doesn't affect me. He used Earthquake. Anyways, Fly. Not that much damage. I used Fly again. Not that, it didn't affect me. Boom. 1 HP. And that was it. 6th gym. If you guys don't already know this, Jake became evil. You know, he's part of Team Eclipse now. You know? And with everything that Team Eclipse has, guess what? He came back weaker than he was last time, you know? We beat him easily. That wasn't even a battle, bro. It wasn't even fair. He was so trash, bro. Jake is so fucking trash and he will never be good. Now, the 7th gym against Zeke. Guys, I said this last time and I'm gonna say it again because I mean business. You already know. This gym is the best. I'm not gonna lie. This gym is actually my favorite. Of all the 8th gym, this is my favorite one. It's straightforward, his Pokemon are good, but not to the degree where you just lose over and over. So I basically evolved my Blastoise, Mega Evolve, and then Hydro Pump, boom, he's gone. His next Pokemon was a Bisharp. I sent out my Arcanine. I used some fire moves and I took him down easily with the Arcanine, you know, especially with the Intimidate that Arcanine has. His next Pokemon is Umbreon. This is when it starts to get a bit wicked. You know, I sent my Blastoise. I don't have any Pokemon that has kind of strength against Dark. Like, normally I would use, like the last video I used Hawlucha. It basically one-shot every single one of his Pokemon just because Hawlucha is a fighting type. This gym I didn't have any fighting types. He sent out another Crocodile. Unfortunately I ate his Intimidate, but I still managed to one-shot him. His next Pokemon was a Houndoom, a Mega Houndoom. Very intimidating like his looks, but I one-shot him. It was very easy. Now for the next battle, it was a battle against our friend Jake. Again, this is maybe the 4th time. Anyways, his team was pretty trash, like always. He always thinks he can beat us. Anyways, I one-shot his Zipstrike with Tyranitar. Then his next Pokemon is an Nidoking. I sent my Blastoise. Basically one-shot him with Hydro Pump. You know, this team is like weird. Jake's team is basically like, I don't know what he was thinking. But anyways, his next Pokemon is a Slowbro. This Pokemon is basically useless. You know, it doesn't really do anything. I sent on my Electivire and I almost one-shot him with Thunder. My Electivire is kind of low in levels, you know. Basically, this whole playthrough, I was lower than the gym leaders and other people's Pokemon in terms of levels. But you know, it wasn't that big of a problem. I one-shot his Arcanine, I sent my Umbreon to take care of her. He switched my Pokemons, I don't know how he did that. Anyways, I beat him and his Arcanine. Then his last Pokemon, I think it is an Umbreon or something. No, Dhelmise. Dhelmise is basically the only Pokemon that Jake has that is actually good. I almost one-shot it with Overheat. Then I use Heat Wave and I take care of Dhelmise. Then his last Pokemon, I think it's Vaporeon or something. I sent on my Electivire just to take care of it real quick. Thunder again and boom, took care of her. I mean, almost. Now against Professor Cypress, this was the last battle against him. Basically, he sent out his Greninja. I kill him with my Electivire. I used Thunderbolt, I think, second move, yeah, Thunderbolt, and he's dead. Then his next Pokemon was a Decidueye. So Professor Cypress, his team is like, it has potential, but he really doesn't know how to use it, you know what I mean? The only thing he knows how to do is kidnap people and, you know, do mischievous things like try to summon Groudon and Kyogre. It doesn't really work well. I think he doesn't really know how to do anything, to be honest. Then I send out my Tyranitar just for his Empoleon. I used the Earthquake like 3 times just to take care of his Empoleon. You know, he was pretty tanky. And I was under-leveled, so half of my Pokemon were like level 60 or something, level 64. You know, but Blastoise, Carmery, and Umbreon were kinda high in levels for some reason. Yeah. I used Overheat on his Sceptile, almost killed him, and another Heat Wave, boom, and he's dead. Then, I think it's Charizard, Mega Charizard X. Tyranitar took care of him in like 2 moves, pretty easy. And this it was Professor Cypress. Now time for the 8th gym. Then, Captain B for the 8th gym battle, the last gym. I'm surprised we made it this far, to be honest. I thought we would, not even be able to beat the 4th gym. Or the 3rd gym, the water gym, was the hardest until now, you know? That's kind of surprising. Now, you already know how I deal with Decidueye. I use Fly, and I think it was enough, almost enough. Yeah. Skarmory was kinda like the right level he needed to be, 80. You know, all her Pokemon were 81, 80, 82. So yeah, he did a good amount of damage. Spirit Bomb was kind of annoying, but he killed himself, so I don't know how to feel about that. Her next Pokemon, I think it was a, Mismagius. Dark Pulse, half damage. I used Dark Pulse again, I think it took care of him. No, I flinched for some reason. I also had an Aegislash. I sent on my Arcanine, I think. Yeah, I sent on my Arcanine. And I used the fire moves I had, Overheat and the other move. Basically, he protected himself, I used Overheat, and he avoided the attack. This annoyed me so fucking much, you don't even know. Basically one-shot him, and his last Pokemon was a Mega Sableye, I think. So I killed him with only 2 Hydro Pumps from Blastoise, and it was basically very easy. Now it was time for Tess, the Elite Four, and the Champion. Well, they beat every single gym. In my opinion, Tess has a decent team. I mean, it's better than Jake's, but still, I one-shot her Garchomp, her Salamence, basically one-shot him too. Then her 3rd Pokemon is a Haxorus. I think I didn't one-shot him. Yeah, I one-shot him too. Bro, this is crazy. Electivire was so OP. Half damage to Druddigon. I think he killed me this on this attempt. Yeah, he killed me. Tyranitar basically almost one-shot him with Earthquake. I killed him with the Sandstorm. Anyways, yeah, he sent in a Flygon for some reason. My Tyranitar uses Stone Edge. Didn't do even that much. I don't know why. Anyways, Rock Slide didn't do that much. I think I switched. No, I didn't switch out. I just kept using the same moves. Stone Edge again. Then I took care of her Flygon. Then she sent an Altaria. I sent out my Skarmory just because I knew that Steel was very OP against Altaria. Her moves do like literally 0 damage to my Skarmory. I used Steel again, and there it was. Now for the moments we've all been waiting for, the Elite Four. So basically the first dude is called Old School Dude. Yeah. I used Overheat and I killed his Ferrothorn. His Aegislash, you know, I switched out to Blade Form and it made it easier for me to deal more damage. So basically I used Heat Wave again and I took care of him. And then his next Pokemon was Excadrill. I used my Blastoise and I did a bit of damage, you know, with Hydro Pump, but it didn't really manage to kill him. Then he died. I sent out Umbreon and sent Jirachi. Jirachi is basically like Satan. You know, he's the definition of evil. He used this move called Iron Head. It does a bit of damage. It's not about the damage, it's about that it makes you flinch. Like, you know, that's very annoying. Basically, I managed to kill Jirachi with a few Dark Pulses. It was pretty lucky, I guess. Then his last Pokemon was a Mega Metagross. I decided to keep Umbreon and I used Dark Pulse, and I did almost half damage with only Dark Pulse. Kinda surprising for Umbreon, one of my weakest Pokemon. Then, he was left to 1 HP, I healed my Umbreon, and but I didn't manage to really kill him with Umbreon, so I set on my Arcanine, Wahi Wave, and boom, he's done. Now for the second Elite Four member, this dude is named Jamie. His first Pokemon is a Ninetales. I set on my Skarmory, managed to do a lot of damage. I one-shot him with Steel Wing, so that's good. Skarmory was surprisingly good in this fight right here, you know. Anyways, then I used Titan, I used Arcanine, and I managed to take him down. I thought, you know, it was better for me to use my Overheat against his Mamoswine and not his Titan. But it didn't really matter since it didn't even hit. I missed it for some reason. And I healed my Arcanine, but I still died. So I sent out Skarmory, and I managed to two-shot him with Steel Wing. That was pretty good from Skarmory, you know, I was very surprised. Then his next Pokemon was a Kyurem. I think this Pokemon is a legendary, just from the way he looks, and you know, he looks kinda scary, you know. The Tyranitar managed to kill him very easily, you know, with a Rock Slide and a Stone Edge. Skarmory was easily the GOAT in this fight. You know, Steel Wing did a heck ton of damage against Ice types. Tyranitar died, and I sent out my Skarmory, and I used 2 Steel Wings, and I got the win, fortunately. Let's go. Now against this dude, the third one, his name is Our Hero. Basically, this was maybe the easiest one out of the four, I mean. I used Skarmory and I took care of his Toxicroak, and then Annihilate, I kept using Fly. And yeah, I basically took care of Annihilate, you know, that's why I chose Skarmory, because I knew that I needed Fly and Steel, you know. Basically Fly again, and I took care of his Annihilate. Then his third Pokemon was a Breloom, I think, I summoned Electivire, and I managed to do a heck ton of damage with Ice Punch. Then he sends out his legendary, which is a Terrakion. I sent out my Skarmory. I used Steel Wing, half damage, and I used Steel Wing again. I survived on 1 HP, that was very lucky. Anyways, his Heracross, I used a potion on my Skarmory just to not die because he was my only hope. He did close combat, he killed me anyway, so I used Arcanine. I used Crunch by accident. I didn't really mean to use Crunch, so that did no damage. Overheat managed to one-shot him. I really don't know why that happened. Now for the fourth Elite Four member, this dude named Srybon. Basically, I sent out my Tyranitar. I almost one-shot his Indeedee, but didn't quite one-shot it yet, so yeah. I used Dark Pulse and I think I took care of it. Yes sir. His next Pokemon is an Armarouge. I sent my Blastoise and I think I almost one-shot it. Now at this point I didn't really know if I would be able to beat the champion, so I just went with the flow and, you know, did what I could do, and if I couldn't beat him, you know, it is what it is. His next Pokemon was a Haterni. I almost killed it with Skarmory's Steel Wing, but it still manages to survive, and I think this is his last Pokemon? No, Mew. So I used Dark Pulse over and over again. I think I took care of him pretty easy, you know, it wasn't that overwhelming. His last Pokemon was a Mega Alakazam, so basically I decided to keep Umbreon. I decided to not heal, but my Umbreon still died. So I used my Blastoise and I used, I think, Aqua Tail. Yeah, I almost one-shot him, so that was good. But then he managed to kill me somehow, so I decided to switch to the one and only Skarmory. I used the one last Steel Wing, and that was it, the fourth Elite Four member. It was now time for the champion. Guys, when I tell you this, I literally spent all night fighting this dude over and over again, because it was pure luck. Like, it all came down to like what his Pokemon used or what he used, and yeah. So basically his first Pokemon was a Glimmora. I sent out Blastoise, Mega Evolved, and I used Hydro Pump. And I knew I wasn't gonna one-shot this Glimmora, just because he had a Focus Sash on it. So basically it was like on 0 damage, basically. I used Dark Pulse just to not trigger the poison, you know. Yeah, so his next Pokemon I think is a Rotom, and this is the devil himself, basically. This Pokemon determined if I was gonna win or lose, basically. So I used Thunder. It was the only move that I could use to him, against him, that was gonna deal, you know, a decent amount of damage. So I used Thunder, and it did a pretty good amount of damage, but he burned me, and he used the Hydro Pump. So now, I had to, like, somehow, yeah, Electivire avoid the attack. That's like super lucky, bro. You know how lucky that is? And boom, Rotom is gone. Like this was on my like 10th attempt for some reason. It was so hard. Then Landorus. I sent out my Blastoise again, and I think I one-shot him with Hydro Pump. Blastoise is just that strong, and this is a legendary Pokemon if you guys didn't know. So his next Pokemon is a Heatran. I decided to keep my Blastoise, and I did a decent amount of damage. Hydro Pump, you know, almost killed him. Earth Power didn't do that much damage. I think I used Echo Tail and I took care of him. Then, guys, for his next Pokemon is a Gholdengo. I sent out Arcanine. I knew Arcanine was gonna destroy this Gholdengo. It's just that his hot air balloon, you know, it was gonna like increase his defense or something. I don't know. It was left on 1 HP, and I think I used Heat Wave and I killed him. Yeah, so this was my luckiest run. You know, basically I had like 10 runs and all of them were unsuccessful. Something went bad for some reason. Anyways, his Salamence is the last Pokemon. I thought my Electivire was gonna survive the burn, but he didn't. So I couldn't get an Ice Punch in. So basically I saw my Tyranitar and I decided to use, I think I used Earthquake or something by accident. I don't really, bro, when I tell you I was shocked, I was so afraid that I wouldn't like defeat him. You know, I used Earthquake by accident. I didn't know that it didn't affect him. You know, I was like, it was like 4 AM and everything. You know, I wasn't concentrated. And, you know, I wasn't even focused on anything. So yeah, my Tyranitar was still alive. I knew that I could kill him. You know, it was easy. Yeah, Facade didn't even do that much. I used Stone Edge and boom, guys, that was the champion. But if you knew how much time this took, you would like the video and subscribe right now, bro. I'm not joking. Anyways, he gave us like 100k. And yeah, it's worth it. So yeah, guys, we became champions of Pokemon Brick Bronze while using Gary Oak's team. So to answer the question that was, you know, question in the first of the video, basically, can Gary Oak become the champion and can he beat Pokemon Brick Bronze? Hell yeah, he can, bro. We beat Pokemon Brick Bronze using Gary Oak's team. Let's go. So basically our team was Tyranitar, Umbreon, Electivire, Arcanine, Blastoise, and a Skarmory, guys. I'm not gonna lie, if I didn't take that Skarmory at first, I would have lost everything, bro. I wouldn't even get past the Elite Four. And basically, yeah, like, guys, that was it. You know, I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, you know what I mean? And if you didn't, I know I did. This was funny as hell, I'm not gonna lie. If you have any other suggestions or any ideas for future videos, or even, you know, another run idea, I literally don't mind doing another one. This was fun as hell. You know, if you guys didn't watch the previous one, Ash, you know, go watch it right now. It was as fun as this, but it was way easier. I appreciate you guys so much. I can't emphasize it enough. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, guys, comment down below if you have any other ideas. And see you in the next one, guys. Love y'all.